All right, 6:30, the top story that we are following this morning.
Yeah, we've got breaking news this morning. Maryland Governor Wes Moore has now declared a state of emergency in Maryland following a major bridge collapsing in Baltimore after a container ship rammed into it this morning. Baltimore Fire Department calling it a mass casualty event. They're focused to rescue and recover at least 7 people believed to be in the water. We've also heard the number 20 people, so we're not really sure. We're going to keep you updated as we continue to learn more this morning. And I do believe we're going to listen in to some of a press conference happening right now in Maryland. So let's give a listen.
Research that we're having right now, we're going to continue, as you heard from Chief Wallace, throughout. As long as we have to be doing that, we will do it. But we have to be thinking about the families and people impacted, folks who we have to try to find and save.
The chief and our teams for all the great work they're doing. And with that, I'll turn things back over to the chief.
All right, just listening into this press conference live right now following this bridge collapse in Baltimore. We are hearing that 2 people have been rescued from the water. Of course, we are, keeping you updated on this. Information is just kind of flowing in. We were hearing at some points that 20 people went into the water, then, reports of 12. We do know there were a lot of construction workers that were out on that bridge when it did come down. Yeah, and obviously it is dark out there right now. It is water. It is a big area to cover. That's what some of these officials have been talking about, how widespread this search is. So it is going to take them, they said, hours today to continue these efforts. And that's why we still don't have like a firm idea of how many people are currently in the water. So we will continue to keep you updated as we get more details here throughout the morning. Varied reports about how many people are in that water, but we do know that there are a lot of crews out there right now that are going to be working to make sure that they get everything cleaned up there. First, let's check in with Chet for an update. We're now learning 2 people have been saved from
They have
water.
been, and this is the moment where you see the bridge collapse here, that cargo ship, which with that live shot, you're able to see just how massive that ship is from that angle. But yeah, this bridge collapsing almost immediately after the collision. This bridge is 1.6 miles long, 180 feet to the river. But yes, the good news is 2 people have been rescued so far. One of those people in serious condition due to the shock from falling into that river. Again, we're hearing mixed reports. At one point, it was 7 people in the water, all the way up to as many as 20. The Baltimore Fire Department is calling this a mass casualty event. We'll continue to keep you updated throughout the morning as these crews continue to do this rescue and recovery. And we're hearing from Governor Wes Moore now, the governor of Maryland. We are thankful for the brave men and women who are carrying out efforts to rescue those involved and pray for everyone's safety. We'll remain in close contact with federal, state, and local entities that are carrying out the rescue efforts as we continue to assess and respond to the tragedy. The governor declaring a state of emergency after that bridge collapse. 6:03, breaking news just into the live desk. South Korea blasting the Russia-North Korea deal. Leaders Vladimir Putin and Kim Jong-un signed an agreement that requires both countries to use all available means to provide immediate military assistance in the event of war. South Korea now saying it will reconsider the issue of providing arms supplies to Ukraine.
Now to power and politics. Last night, attorney Lee Kindlin, of course the challenger to the current DA, David Soares, went one-on-one with CBS 6's Tom Eschen, who really pressed him on his response to David Soares asking what happened to the money earned in the Schoharie limo trial.
WAMC had asked me the same question a week ago, so I'll tell you what I told them is I never got paid to do that trial. I asked the client to pay and he just wasn't able to. So it's really not any of David's business, and the fact that David keeps trying to use the limo tragedy as some sort of political hit is disappointing. I understand he doesn't really have any real issues to run on to bolster his own record, and so he's flailing at this point and trying to see if anything sticks. But the reality is I never got paid to do that trial, and I did it anyway.
Be sure to tune in tomorrow at 5:30 when DA Soares himself joins Tom Eschen for a special extra Power and Politics segment.
Well, pro-Palestine protests have been erupting from really coast to coast.
Yeah, and we are going to chat at the live desk here. You have been tracking some of the just wild video of these different protests in different cities.
Yeah, it really was nationwide. So let's start with New York City. These protesters you're seeing going on the Brooklyn Bridge, halting traffic there. Same story on this bridge. This is the Hamilton Fish Newburgh Beacon Bridge going over the Hudson. These protesters were actually taken into custody. Moving on to Chicago, where 54 people were arrested after pro-Palestinian protesters blocked the entrance to Chicago O'Hare Airport. This aerial footage you see here showing you just how much of a backup there was. Travelers forced to walk to the terminal. The protests later moved to downtown Chicago, stopping traffic there as well. The pattern continued in San Francisco. This is the Golden Gate Bridge, which had to be shut down after protesters chained themselves to those barrels you just saw. I-880 in Oakland also stopped for hours as a show of solidarity with Gaza. 38 people were arrested in these two protests, facing charges of unlawful assembly, resisting arrest, false imprisonment, and more.
Well, the stage will soon be set for the first presidential debate.
Yep, so as of midnight, the qualification window is officially closed. Chet has all the details from the live desk.
Yeah, it appears this is going to be a head-to-head debate with President Joe Biden once again squaring off against his predecessor, Donald Trump. To qualify for this CNN debate, which will take place a week from today in Atlanta, candidates needed to appear on a sufficient number of state ballots to reach the electoral vote threshold to win the presidency and have at least 15% support in 4 separate national polls. While Biden and Trump easily checked off those boxes, it looks like Robert F. Kennedy Jr. has missed the mark. The Independent has argued the standards have been applied unfairly.
Well, good morning, everybody. I'm Lara Bryn. Happy Friday. Today is the Friday of Belmont, and we have full team coverage on the way, from the impact on businesses to safety preparations. Sports director AJ Pankowski will have the races of the day, but first, we're going to check in with Julia and Alyssa, both live at the track this morning. Hey, guys.
CBS 6 News starts now.
Well, at 6 o'clock, storms wreaking havoc across Albany, leaving significant damage behind. This morning, we have extensive team coverage for you. We have Olivia Jaquith joining us live after the storm causes a building to partially collapse downtown.
Yeah, and Chet is tracking power outages from the live desk and what this means for some school districts that are still open right now. But first, we're going to check in with meteorologist Alyssa Carepriest. It's warm out there and it's